Now, a lot of guys are out here walking around lonely as hell. And they won't say it, but you know they feel it. And the problem is that they have no male friends or acquaintances that they can just count on. Nobody to pick up the phone at like, say, 2:30 in the morning and say, hey, man, shit's going down. I need you. And we used to have that all the time. But now most guys out here are out here trying to do everything solo. And it's hard. And I'll be honest with you. I really miss brotherhood. I miss that camaraderie. I miss the closeness that we once had. And I'm not sure that most people even know what that means nowadays. I just remember things used to be so simple, man. For example, you have a buddy and he needs your help moving, right? You show up, somebody bring the truck, somebody bring the beer and get the shit done. Friends showing up for friends, and that's just how it was. Or if his car broke down, or hell, your car broke down, he'd be right there under that hood with you, man, trying to get you back on the road. And if he was in trouble, you had his back. And if you were in trouble, again, he had your back. No questions asked. And if he started swinging, you started swinging too. We'll find out what went down later. We'll sort it out then. But right now, I got your back, brother. And people, that was brotherhood in a nutshell. That was the kind of connection that men used to share back in the day. But fast forward and now, most people don't even know their own neighbors. You can live beside somebody for years and get no deeper than that surface level connection of, hey, how you doing? And for whatever reason, and I swear to God, I don't know why, we don't look at each other as family anymore. We look at each other more as competition. And I don't know when that started, but I don't like it. I truly believe that it started right around the time that the internet and smartphones became popular. I could be wrong, but I think that's when everybody went into their own little bubble and started to focus on themselves more than society. You see, we got so many ways to connect now. Social media, text, group chats, click this, like that, push this. And it's connection, true enough. But it doesn't go any deeper than that. It's shallow. It's surface level. It's not like a real friendship. See, real friendships take time and energy and effort because you got to get to trust the person. And in order to get to trust them, you got to get to know them. And that takes you guys spending time together and learning from each other. That's the problem. That leaves you wide open and vulnerable. And see, that's why I truly believe nobody's doing it anymore. Nobody wants to get hurt. That's why everybody's so wrapped up in their own little cocoon, their own little thought bubbles. It's a lot easier to be alone and suffer in silence than to take that risk and put yourself out there getting hurt again. And I'm not judging. I'm guilty of this too, so don't think I'm not. Because we as men are taught that we got to be tough and not to show any weakness. So we act like we're fine and like we don't need any help because we got our shit all together, right? And God forbid we show a chink in the armor. That is the absolute worst thing that you can do as a man. So even though we may know we need help, but instead of reaching out and asking for it, what do? We fake it. We fake it and say, I'm good, man. I got it. Problem with that is if you play that game long enough, you really do forget how to let anybody in to help you. And the reality of life is this, people. We all are going to need help at some point. And nowadays, especially, it makes it so much harder because your family will move away, right? They'll be scattered all over the whole fucking country or hell, even in some cases, all over the world. In your neighborhoods, they don't even feel like communities anymore, especially not like the communities that I grew up in. And then back in the day, most men made a lot of their friends at work because they were working in factories or barbershops or construction sites or wherever. And so you work with these cats all day, 8, 9, 10, 12, 16 hours a day. See, they just weren't coworkers. These dudes actually became family. They knew each other's families. They'd hang out together outside of work. They'd go to family functions, bowling, fishing, union hall, all that kind of shit, man, even church. But see, all that's gone now. And then you got people who are now working from home or remotely, so they don't even get a chance to be in a room with anybody anymore. And then there's this whole trust issue, man. As men, a lot of us, man, have been burned in our lives by women, divorced, betrayed by other dudes we trusted, or hell, just life itself. And once a man's trust is broken, I don't have to tell you, it's hard as hell to trust again. You don't want to put yourself back out there, man, to get hurt again. No one likes feeling vulnerable. No one likes getting used. But people, the problem with that is being alone and dependent only on yourself. That turns into a habit. And that habit, that's a hard habit to break. Because the more you reinforce it, the harder it is to let it go. And then comes that little bit of, I don't know what you call it, shame, embarrassment, whatever you want to call it. Because nobody likes to admit that they don't have any friends. First thing people want to know when you say, well, I don't have any friends. First thing they want to know is, what the fuck's wrong with this guy? And they may not come right out and say it, but you know that look, and you can tell what they're thinking. So a lot of us just, we don't admit it. We just keep it on our chest, man, and hold it inside. And I know I'm guilty of this. I know I don't have very many friends, at least people that I would call friends, more acquaintances. So then what do? We try to fill that void in our life from not having friends. We try to fill it with other stuff like, I don't know, fucking lifting weights or jogging or scrolling endlessly. Hell, some guys, go out and try to date 60 women. Reality is no matter what you choose to try to fill that void, it's really all just self-medicating. Because in the end, it's sort of like taking Tylenol. Tylenol doesn't really get rid of the root cause of the pain. It just kind of numbs it. But in reality, you still feel it. And then that's when your mind steps in. And the worst part about your mind fucking with you is you can't get away from your own thoughts. You start to question yourself and your own self-worth. You start to ask yourself little dumbass questions like, oh, okay, why don't I have any friends? And what's wrong with me? And see, we make it personal. We start to believe that it's only us that's going through this problem, right? Like we're the only ones in the whole world who's having this problem. And in reality, people, and this is because nobody talks about it, this problem is really a lot more common than what you think. Reality is there are millions of men in this country alone that are going through the exact same thing. The Surgeon General even came out, I think it was 2003, I think, and called it an epidemic. Anyway, it's called the Epidemic of Male Loneliness, and go and look it up. And I'm not above the fray. I'm just like everybody else. I relied on myself for so long that I only knew how to rely on myself. It took me meeting my wife before I realized that, damn, I don't have to carry all this weight alone. And I don't have to shoulder every burden by myself. It's that kind of caveman thinking, man, and it's outdated bullshit is what it is. And don't get me wrong. I believe it's good for a man to be able to depend on himself. That's what we should do. But he should also be able to hand off some of that load to other people that he trusts. Don't other people hand their loads off to us? And see, people, we by nature are very communal. We love to be around each other. And this whole isolation thing, that's not natural to us. That's trying to go against our instincts. And I think that's why we feel it so strongly. We need a tribe. We need to be surrounded by people we can trust and count on and that we believe have our best interests in mind. And people, that's why brotherhood is so much more than just, I don't know, hanging out and kicking it in football and drinking beer on Saturdays. Brotherhood is loyalty. It's being there for somebody when they need you. And it's them being there for you when you need them. It's in keeping your word. And I'm a firm believer. If you give a man your word, don't break it. If you tell somebody you're going to do something, you do exactly that thing that you said you're going to do. It's also in being there when somebody needs you at their absolute worst. When somebody's whole fucking world is crashing around down at their feet, you're there for them. Listen to me when I tell you this. That person, they will always remember you for that. People, I believe we truly lost something along the way. I think that when the internet and smartphones took over, that's when it really started. Can't say for sure, but I do know this. If we don't bring it back and bring it back soon, we're all in big trouble. Because without men willing to stand shoulder to shoulder as brothers, unified in one common cause, this country's already surrendered. And that, people, to me, is what brotherhood is in a nutshell. Being able to depend on the next man like you depend on yourself. And I'll be honest with you, I miss that. I swear I do. We got to find some kind of way to get that back. Because that's what's going to keep us standing through everything. I don't know. But people, at any rate, if you got anything you want to add to this or you want to talk about it, drop it down in the comments below and let's discuss it. Because I absolutely love to hear from you guys. And this is the one place where everybody's opinion matters. So no matter what you got to say, whether I agree with you or disagree, please, I want to hear it. And as always, I'm Unc. Take care of yourselves and each other. And please, gentlemen, show a little more love, kindness, and respect out there. And the world will be a better place. And know, too, we don't have to keep walking around lonely as hell. Brotherhood fixes all that. Just know that. I'll catch you guys in the next one.